Today's video is going to be about my immigration and my visa extension process. Yes, it's true. I did not get my visa extension. You know, I've been making videos in Thailand now for a little over 4 years, mostly travel videos. Mostly all we do is we share our experience in Thailand. My experience is going to vary from other people's experiences, which that should be common sense in life. We all have different experiences based on our needs and where we're at, a lot of different things, right? So the videos that I've been making since I've been here have just been about my experiences and how it happened for me. Let me just start from the beginning. The other day I was going to make a video like I do every year about my visa extension process. But because of the always ever so changing rules in Thailand, it's difficult to keep up. Because a lot of times if you do the research on and I always try to share official information I never share anything from blog sites or other people's opinions or comments and stuff like that. I'll share information directly from immigration sites and like .gov sites and stuff like that. So if you look at the information that's on the current website, current information, today's information, it still shows the same as it always has on the criteria for the type of visa that you're here. But they make changes all the time, and sometimes it's in Thai, and the English version is a little bit different than the Thai version, so there's always some confusion about what's happening. So a couple things have changed in Thailand, and I want to share that with you today. So let me just take you from the beginning where this all started. Good morning. Today is visa extension day. Paige has got all of my paperwork together. And we're headed to NakhonPhanom today for me to get my extension. Normally, it takes about 2 hours to do. We're just towards the end of New Year's. It's January the 5th, I think, today. But we'll see how busy things are. Hopefully we could just go hang out, get my passport back within a couple hours with the stamp inside, and carry on till next year. I haven't been to immigration all year this year. I do all of my 90-day check-ins online. Throughout Thailand, they offer online 90-day check-in, but depending on the office where you're at will depend on if they can do it or not. So you just have to check with the province that you're at and see if you can do it. But most of them can. There's a couple of things you got to remember with the 90-day check-in. You have to actually do it 2 weeks prior to the due date of your 90-day extension. If you do it 1 week before, it will not work. And it doesn't really give you an explanation. It just says it doesn't work. And you can't do your first one online, but you need to go check in and have that set up. And yeah, that's super easy to do. And we can do that pretty much on the road. It's no big deal to most people, but if you travel a lot, it's a little bit of an inconvenience because you got to be back in your province during that certain time every 3 months out of the year. So with this, I don't have to do it. And I just print it out. Or when we're traveling, I just save it to my computer and print it out later and put it in my passport. But on the extension process, you could go online and look at everything you need. You can print out all the documents online on the website for the immigration. That's a TM7. There's a few things you've got to do, like a bunch of copies. You have to have a copy of every single page of your passport. And I would usually it's 3, but I would recommend having 6. We always have extra that we bring there. You need a specific passport picture. You'll need 3 of those. We always bring 6 because you never know. But everything has to be signed. Every single page out of the copy of the passport has to be signed. We need to go to the bank. I just went and got my pictures done just now. I'm waiting for them to develop. He said 10 minutes. They got a few customers right now, but we've got to go to NakhonPhanom, and I've got to go to the bank and have. What's easy with the retirement visa is you just need to have the money, and that's why it's so quick. With the marriage visa, it takes some time where we live because it has to be sent off to another province, and it takes about a week to 10 days to get it back. So that's kind of why I switched to, I still have an O visa inside Thailand, but it's with the intent to retire. So all I got to do is show that I have over 800 baht in my account. And it's like super quick, super easy, but we have to go to the bank and get an affidavit and a printout from the year of what we've had in the bank, our transactions and all that stuff. And the banks usually, no, we go to Bangkok Bank because they usually are pretty good dealing with foreigners. So we need, I think it's 2, I'll know here in a minute, 2 affidavits. And I think they charge you like 100 baht or something like that for the affidavit. And then I have to bring, of course, my bank book, and that's pretty much it. And I don't know, any complications, anything, we'll talk more about it on the way, but yeah, visa extension day, hooray. I don't have any expectations this time. We have nowhere to go. So last year I was in a little bit of a hurry because I wanted to travel a little bit, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Well, we're here at the bank here in our hometown getting the affidavit, which was easy enough. But the manager needs to sign it, and I think he just went to go poop or something. I don't know. So anyway, we're going to go into, yeah, healthy. I just noticed that you can't take any pictures here or bring a dog. Whatever. Well, this is different. The new norm, huh? Mm-hmm. Sit outside and wait.
System ready.
Anytime you're dealing with the government in Thailand, expect that it won't work the first time. Expect that. I've got over 1 million baht in my account that I use all the time. But there's a new law out, and I didn't know this, and actually Joe's going, well, so there's a new law that says that you have to have a statement for 1 year. But the bank won't give you a statement for 1 year, only 6 months. So you have to get it from the main bank in Bangkok. So we have to go back to our bank and tell them we need to order a 1 year statement. And that's it. As soon as I get that printed out, we'll take it back. I still have 30 days left on my visa, so it's not a problem. But it's just, once we do that, then actually it's a lot quicker. Now, if you have everything, you just go through it and they give you the stamp right then and there. It's quick. You don't have to wait. But gotta have that 1 year statement from your bank. And I'll try to find it here on the internet to share the publication with you. But she gave it to me in a copy of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'll have to share that link to where you guys can see read the new. The best thing to do to get your visa is just hire a service. I promise you, it's so much easier. And I have a guy that will do it, but it's usually no problem for us. But because the laws change so much, it's difficult to keep up with. But if you don't have somebody like Paige or somebody that can handle it for you, because it gets complicating, and it really depends on what province you're in too, it's best just to hire a service to let them do that. So of course I always share a link to one that has always helped many of my subscribers, and the link down below. So let's go to the bank. Thailand.
Whee!
And last year we only had 1 copy of everything. It's always a money problem with that we've ever had with the visa stuff. Well, except for the marriage license, I had to have translated into into Thai. But last year we needed to go back to the bank because we needed two certified copies. So we made sure this year we had 2, and then they changed it to where you only need 1 this year. So yeah, I guess the best thing to do if you're doing this yourself is to go into the immigration office prior to you doing all the paperwork and making sure you know exactly what you need, I guess, right? Do they have like a list of everything that they can share with you? Yeah. Maybe get a list of exactly what you need so you only make 2 trips. Okay, so the lady just called us back from the immigration office to make sure. She's a really nice lady, and I'm not hating on the immigration. She even called the bank to see if there was something that we could do now to get it to her, but couldn't do it. So, but she called back and said, hey, make sure this. So anyway, next year, to not have this problem, here's what happened was I don't update my bank book all the time. So I had about 3 or 4 months in the gap that I didn't update, and when you go through the machine, it doesn't do the whole. It like skipped what, 4 months?
Well, the machine only do 6 months.
The machine only does 6 months. So I haven't obviously updated my book in a while. So
Yeah.
next year I gotta make sure every month, which is really easy to do. You just put it through the little machine and it updates it. It's easy. Yeah, so this morning we're headed back to the bank to get another affidavit that's certifying that account is mine. I'm gonna put a deposit in the account to show a current transaction, and then gonna show the 1-year statement that shows that I've had 800,000 baht really every month throughout the year that I've been here. So 8 days later, we are leaving the bank here in ThatPhanom and driving 55 kilometers north to the city of NakhonPhanom, which is our province. So let me kind of explain to you again what's going on. We had to get a 1-year bank statement from our bank because they only do 6 months at a time. In the US you can get online and do a statement for 5 years if you want to, if you need it. But here, when you run your bank book through or you get a statement at your local branch, they'll only do it for 6 months. Why, I don't know. And if you're in a major big city, maybe it's different from you, but I'm only sharing again my experience. So Joe actually has gone through the same thing, which was a little bit more weird because foreigner Joe doesn't bank with Bangkok Bank. He banks at another bank. But he ran into the same kind of similar situation. He didn't have a 1-year statement, only 6 months. And the bank actually had to go through Bangkok Bank, which is strange, for him to get his 1-year statement for his other bank. I think he's SJCAM Bank or what, I don't know, I don't remember, but he had to wait 7 days also. And I don't know why you have to wait 7 days, but the lady said it usually takes, if there's a weekend involved, about 7 days, 5 to 7 days. But we got it today. The lady said, okay, we got everything, and then we had to get it signed. I need to get to NakhonPhanom before their lunch break so I can at least drop my paperwork off. And I'm like sitting there for 15 minutes. Now I'm starting to get irritated because I'm thinking the lady is in the office. All she has to do is sign my paper so I can go, or I'm gonna have to wait another hour before I can go to NakhonPhanom. So finally I asked Paige if she could go ask how long is this gonna take for her to sign it. But anyway, they had to actually send the paper back off to the main branch to get it approved for whatever reason. And I don't know, I just didn't understand. So I was getting irritated because I didn't understand. It's like, sign the paper, let's go. But that's what happens. I'm only sharing that with you because as a foreigner, when you don't understand, sometimes you just assume stuff. because we don't know, right? Anyway, let me explain to you real quick after I just blah, blah, blah for too long probably. You have to have, from this other form, this paper that I've shared with you, this document says you have to have 800,000 baht 3 months prior to your renewal. Now, Joe had similar problems, but Joe doesn't do the 800,000. He does the monthly. It's 65,000 baht a month or 800,000 on a retirement type visa. So now they say, as of now, 800,000 baht for the 3 months. It used to be 2 months, but 3 months prior to your extension, and then they want 3 months in the bank after your extension. So you can't touch 800,000 baht at all until after 3 months after your extension process. So that's like 6 months out of the year, and you have to keep a minimum of 400,000 baht throughout the rest of the remainder of the year. It can never dip below 400. So anyway, I saw some, I'm not going to share it, but I was reading some stuff that people have gone below that, but they didn't have to leave, and they just had to pay a fine. And some people actually got they ended up getting a 30-day stamp instead of an extension, and they had to leave the country and reapply for a visa. I think it just depends on where you're at and probably your attitude, I think, a lot in Thailand. So, but as of right now, I don't know what else is in front of us other than supposedly my paperwork is approved. I just need to show them this 1 year thing, and then hopefully that's it. But I'm going to ask her again while we're sitting there to verify, do I need to have 800,000 baht in the account for 6 months? So let's get to immigration, do this, and then I'll be right back. Okay, we got here too late, so we got here like 10 minutes till 12, so she said just come back, so we had to get a queue, so hopefully we don't have to sit too long. The lady last time said just come in and see me, we'll get you handled right away, but that was last week. Anyway, this is Courtney. We're at Chelsea's again. Chelsea's restaurant on the beautiful Mekong River. Gonna have some lunch and calm the nerves. But I was talking to Courtney, lives here in NakhonPhanom too, and he's on a retirement visa. Are you a OA visa or O?
I think it's OA.
OA. But anyway, I haven't had a chance to verify the 800 for 6 months, the 800,000, but he says that's what happened to him too, was she said you had to have 800 3 months before.
Yeah.
And 3 months after. So 6 months out of the year you have to have a minimum 800.
Yeah.
And the other months you have to have 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of these things that some people have been withdrawing money and then not putting it back in time and things like that.
You think that'll stick? You think it'll stay that way?
Oh yes, I think it will stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they do have financial problems, and they just enjoy making it more difficult for us.
Okay.
Making us jump through more hoops.
Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. Maybe it'll change, maybe it won't change, but something seems to always change. So.
But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, when I first got my retirement visa, I put the 800,000 in a bank account, an interest-bearing bank account, and then forgot it.
Yeah.
And that 800,000 has now turned into 1.5 million.
How long have you had it in there?
Well, it's got to be 10, 12 years.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
How much interest is no good right now?
No.
But back then, probably. What's your interest rate on that account? I think the most I can get is like 1%.
Yeah. You're lucky if you get 1% at the moment.
But it used to be 4. You could get 4%.
Yeah. You used to be quite good, but that, like everything, it's plummeted.
Yeah, maybe it'll go up. Who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought I would share somebody else's experience because Your experience may be totally different. You may go into somewhere in Chonburi and they'll say, oh, 3-month statement's all you need. Who knows?
We've got two Americans next door,
Yeah.
and they both had to renew their visas in November and December, and both of them, it took 2 days to get all the paperwork and everything sorted.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Well, it's done that for me too, because I didn't, you know, the extra stuff I didn't know. And if you go on the internet to look at the requirements, it's still the old, they didn't update it in English.
But also, every immigration, they have different rules and they apply them differently.
Yeah.
You know, and because this is a border here, it's a lot more strict.
Yeah.
And if you get it done elsewhere and then come back here, you get put through the mangle well and truly.
Anyway, that's what happens sometimes in another country. Anyway,
Exactly.
do you still love it here in Thailand?
I wouldn't be anywhere else at the moment.
Fair enough. Is that your salad or mine?
No, the chicken. Really?
Well, here we are, beautiful NakhonPhanom. I just got finished with my immigration process and yeah, got 1 more year in the kingdom. No problem. They actually stamped it right there. It took about 30 minutes once I got everything approved on the paperwork. When we got there, they didn't recognize Paige at first, but they recognized me when I came in there and told us to sit down. We didn't have to do the queue. So I'll tell you, my immigration is the day after New Year. So I always go in there and bring them a New Year's gift, some candy, cookies. This year I brought them a bunch of cookies. So anyway, it was a happy be my bag. Hello. Hey, how are you? I'm just sitting here talking to myself here.
I know what you're doing.
It's my only friend here.
I think so. I've watched many of your vlogs.
Oh, very good. I'm doing a vlog today about my immigration process.
Have you been okay? Good?
I just got it finished, yeah, today,
No
so. No, I got my 1 year, but there's always a little bit of a problem, right?
You don't do it for married?
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Sorry.
Anyway, absolutely forgot everything that I was talking about. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'll have to go back and look at the video. You never know in Thailand what's going to change, so always remember that the first time you're going to have to come back for something. So what I recommend is going into the immigration maybe a couple months prior, and making sure that you know what you need to come back. Hopefully they can give you a list, because if you look on the internet, all the information is still the same as it was before. They've not updated and said that you need to have the funds. You need to have 800,000 baht 3 months prior to your visa expiration date, your extension expiration date, and it has to stay in there 3 months after. And then it cannot go below 400. You have to maintain 400,000 baht all the time. So, you know, mine's usually always a little higher than 800, but if it gets to a point in my life, I think I'll just have a separate account and keep 900,000 baht in that account forever. And then next year, I need to make sure that I update my bank book every month so that they can see every month that I have that amount, so I don't have to get the statement from the bank like I did this time. So next year will be easy unless they change it again, which I don't think they're going to keep it this way. Like Courtney said, maybe, but I don't think so. I think right now, I'll tell you, they're in discussion about, and it's on the Thai news, about trying to figure out a way to make a little easier for tourists to come back into Thailand. But you got the groups that are scared of allowing tourists in and the kind that need tourists in. But I still don't think anything's going to happen until there's definitely a vaccine in play. But a lot of changes are going to happen once this stuff passes, because they're going to need people to return to Thailand, and they're going to have to get, it's never going to be the same. I can just about guarantee you it's not going to be like it used to be, but it needs to get on path of what it's going to eventually be soon, because right now nobody knows what's going on. I remember one thing I was going to say that I forgot. If you guys have a similar visa experience, please leave it in the description box below if you could share it. I think we'd all appreciate that. And I want to say again that I'm not saying this is how it is everywhere in Thailand. Every time I make a video, it really is just about my experience. And a lot of times people share their experiences with me, and I'll share it with you too. But I'm not telling you that's how it is throughout Thailand. I'm just telling you, here in my province, it's on a border and they're really strict. So they want to make sure everything is perfect here in this area. And it seems like every year there's always a change of hands through this immigration office. So it's always somebody new, and it seems like they get stricter and stricter. But anyway, if you want to share your experience, please do so in the description box. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. But all I'm doing is sharing. I'm just sharing my experience. So I'm not going to argue with you about, you know, yours is different and mine's not true. So don't leave those comments to yourself. Anyway, on our way home. Here's to one more year in Thailand.
One more year.
What would have been next? Belize? Here's my advice. Take it or leave it. When you come to Thailand, if you're going to stay long term, at least a year, maybe two, maybe the thought of retiring in Thailand, I suggest you hire an agency or a law firm or somebody to handle your legalities for you until you get your feet wet and figure out kind of what's going on. If you don't want to do that, I would definitely recommend, if you don't have somebody that, a significant other that speaks Thai, hire a friend, a neighbor, somebody who has a lot of patience, can speak some English, and can help you with the immigration process. More patience. You have a lot of patience, I know. But if you want a law firm, I've recommended this particular firm to a lot of people who watch our channel for the past 4 years, and they've helped quite a bit. It's in the description box below of the video. Just click the link, and he can help you with all kinds of things. If you want to start a business, whatever kind of visa you want, you want to buy a condo, you want to lease a home, anything, work permit, all that stuff, he can handle it for you, carefree. And you know, that's really the way you need to be, is carefree until you can kind of figure out if this is right for you or not. The insurance requirements basically are still the same. I also made a pretty good video on how to stay in Thailand long term. I'll put both of those links down below in the description box, but the insurance video tells everybody exactly what I have. I have an O visa, so it's not required at, like the OA, you have to have a certain amount. And if you go to the OA visa requirements in the immigration website, wherever you're from, go to the Thai embassy website, and it'll tell you the requirements. It'll give you the list of the insurance companies that they recommend you having, but there's also in there an affidavit form that you can have your insurance fill out, as long as your insurance fits what the criteria is, and it also works in Thailand. But you can use your own insurance, you just have to fill out this form. But anyway, check out those two videos. You're making fun of me. It's been a long day,
He's like all day.
Yeah, it's actually, this has been like 2 days, but it's just, it's the way it is. And hopefully, we have nowhere to go actually, but I do need to get my visa, I need to get my passport renewed. If any of you guys have ever, Americans here lately, have gotten your passport renewed in Bangkok, share to me how easy that is, because in my mind right now, and I overthink, is I'd like to fly to Bangkok, you know, make the appointment, fly to Bangkok, go to the embassy, handle everything, but I can't fly back without my passport. But they have a thing where you could possibly mail it, but it says it takes 2 to 3 weeks. I'm kind of weird about mailing my passport, but if I drive there and hand it off, I still, I don't know. Anyway, if you guys got any experience on the best way, I'll make a video on it on the way I do it, or did it, or done it. Anyway, thank you so very much for watching the video. Sorry, some of you guys, we're going to be here another year. I know you were hoping that we were really going to have to go back somewhere, right? But it didn't happen. Everything works out. I just wanted to share the video, grab your attention, and let you know what the changes that have been made and how it worked out. So, yeah, don't forget to click the like button. Please subscribe. I had to make the guy today subscribe. He's like, no, I'm old school. What happened? Mosquito? Are you just picking on me or what?
The button.
So, oh yeah, just click the little, button. It's right there. The button's right there. Just click that button, not this button. Anyway, he said, I'm old school. I said, yeah, I know. Publishers Clearinghouse. I'm not going to send you nothing. Just subscribe. It helps the channel grow and it helps the channel get promoted, and we want to promote positively, everything positive, yeah. In Thailand or in life in general. No time to be sad. Anyway, we'll see you guys on the next video. Out. Bye. Cheers. Put mine. It happens.